Howdy. Welcome back to
Hello.
SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Welcome back to Stargate
Hey,
Outpost.
Sarah. I wonder where she was. Hi, Sarah.
Jay and Sarah, how are y'all?
Great.
You know, I was about to say, I think we're a lot more lively and just excitable today than the news that we're about to talk about, maybe.
Yeah.
What news?
Oh,
What's
well,
happened?
if any of y'all didn't
News?
notice, there was this Patreon video on Tachyon Pulse that has it gone live yet? That has gone live, and it is detailing how the only chance of a new Stargate might be a hard reboot, and it might even be a film to start us off.
Yeah, they've been saying film for ages, mate. That's not news. That's been like
that's true.
2 years.
Yeah, I just like the film aspect. That part still excites
Can't
me.
remember
The hard reboot though.
It's there. Okay. Should put it over here. Look, see my Lego models. See my Legos. Look.
You just moved right in
Not
front
really, barely.
of me.
They're there. They are there.
There.
All right.
Couldn't be bothered to get all my stuff out to the camera should be over there, but I couldn't be bothered. It's only SciTrek, couldn't be asked.
Well, where do we begin?
What was that about Babylon 5? I didn't read it quickly enough. You always flash these things up too quickly.
It was the chairman saying, "I'd love to also see in a Babylon 5 reboot." It has nothing to do with live stream, though. You know, he's just joking. But
It's not
also, I think would be more excited about something like that than a Stargate reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Simply put, the what?
Would Babylon 5 is awesome, but yeah, that's not going to happen.
You and JMS, give him a nice a text. Kid.
Hey JMS, how you doing?
You
message him and ask him to apologize, and I decided not to bother.
Well, do we need an apology from Amazon here if we're getting a hard reboot?
I'd like to say that we're not definitely getting a hard reboot.
Well, I mean,
if panic.
Of course, if we're framing it like that, if this ends up being exactly what it happens, and it is framed in this sense,
it's increasingly likely that we're going to get a hard reboot.
Yeah.
So what the facts are, without me embellishing to get clicks, which I would never do, is that basically they have opened up to pitches again. This is the first time in 18 months they've accepted pitches for Stargate that I know of. And it seems to be still in cooperation with Sony. But this is the third time they've opened for pitches for Stargate. Every other time they've said, we're not accepting pitches for a hard reboot, only a continuation. This time they have said, we are opening pitches to a hard reboot. So, because I know for a fact Bad Robot, even though they were told not to, pitched a hard reboot anyway. I'd love to have been in that meeting because we've got this idea, it's a hard reboot, we're going to completely remake the thing. And the next thing was they're going, did these morons read the email? So that's basically the difference. But I don't think it's that like weird that they've done it. Like yesterday, I was annoyed.
Yeah.
Not because I've known it was coming for ages. I think that's the point. I've been told this for a while. This is probably going to happen, but I was annoyed. But actually, in hindsight, with my sensible brain on, I think it might be for the best. You should have used that. You should have that sound. You said you got sound effects. That should have been
I'm so not used to it. Hold up. We got fancy things now.
Say it again. Wait. Tell me when you're ready.
Now,
fancy things.
I actually think it might be for the best. I even put a dramatic pause in there, you tit.
It took a second. There was a dramatic pause that the technology did for us there.
Hey, we just discovered this 30 seconds ago. So
we're terribly sad to talk about Stargate possibly and most likely being a hard reboot. But the fact that we have a soundboard now is just so exciting.
That you can't use. Anyway.
It takes us a moment. We're getting there.
Before I tell you why I think actually a hard reboot, well, it's not even I think it's a good idea. I can understand why at this point they would.
Yeah, I get it.
What do you guys think first before we get into that then?
Well,
I dropped something, so I'm going to go pick it up.
Okay. I don't like the idea of a hard reboot. The only thing I'm afraid of is that are you going to alienate all the Stargate fans, current Stargate fans, by rebooting it?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay open-minded. I don't want a reboot, but I get why they'd want to do it, and it could be good. You know, I don't think that just because it's a reboot, it necessarily has to be bad.
I'm
Are you
with
closer
you.
to Canada, Sarah, than thingy? Because it does sound like you're saying reboot, like a Canadian would.
A
No,
reboot.
you're in that area of the United States. Or I forgot where you are. You've told me.
I
where
grew up in Michigan. I'm living in
That's near
Seattle now, but yeah.
That's near enough too. I don't know what you're talking about. You're not that
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this after our Farscape Trion podcast yesterday, just for a few minutes because you texted us right then, and we went to existential crisis for mode for a few minutes there. And
Did you swear as much as I did on the Patreon video?
The what?
Did you swear as much as I did on the Patreon video?
I have no idea, but knowing us and knowing myself, probably.
I swear to.
So yeah. Well, there are multiple ways to approach this, and I feel like all of them are good or bad in their own ways. Like Sarah said, it's one of the scary things, daunting things about this would be, I don't think most Stargate fans as of now want this. And what does that mean for starting a new series if you're already alienating the base of fans you have? And a good chunk of them may and possibly and maybe even probably won't tune in, at least for a little time, until they hear it's good enough to chime back in. And maybe, you'll get some, I'll finally check it out, once the whole season's out or something like that, I fear for them there. The one easy way to negate that immediately, if they are doing a hard reboot, you don't have to have them at the helm. But if you got Brad Wright involved for the hard reboot, that immediately not alienates those fans, but at least piques their interest enough to say, okay, maybe this will be more like the Battlestar Galactica reboot. Maybe this will be more like JMS wanting to reboot Babylon 5 or something like that. It is the person that heralded this project in at first to its fruition, coming back with it. That, I think, would give some confidence, but not a whole bunch of confidence.
Spin asked what happened to a Stargate movie this year. Do I need to repeat that again?
Not much.
I can quickly if you'd like. Well, also, there's a load of bloody memes going out there, weren't there, about how Captain America was going to be in a Stargate movie, and people believed it. What's his name? Chris Evans was going to be in a Stargate movie.
Yeah.
And that wasn't true. And then they were going to do a remake where Kurt Russell was going to do a sequel of them at that age, sort of thing. That also wasn't true. I was the one, the guy from that did the Queen
Teller?
movie.
Yeah, Miles Teller.
Nutella? You saying Nutella? I don't like Nutella.
No, Miles Teller, because he was there for a second.
No. Oh, I'll tell you about Miles Teller. That was something else. That was before he signed on to do Witcher.
That's Liam Hemsworth.
Well, yeah. Oh no, sorry, Liam Hemsworth. Who did you say? Miles Teller. Miles Teller was way after that.
Yeah,
Miles Teller was when they were running up to the movie. Sorry, you're right. What did he end up doing in the end? Instead, he got onto something else instead, didn't he? Whenever there was at the time, I think there was a load of big actors that were sort of looking for projects, and so their names were being thrown around for Stargate. But when they were looking at series, it got quite close with Liam Hemsworth. He was apparently he wanted to be like producer and everything. And Amazon were like, no. It's like, you're not Tom Cruise, mate. So he kind of shot himself in the foot with that, apparently, according to one person. Right. So the reason why we didn't get one this year, it should have been out about now. It should have been out this summer. But basically, it was paused during the writer strikes. So as simple as that. Like I told everybody 2 years ago. So it got paused, and then it just kept kicked back. And it's
because there have been multiple points where Amazon's had a full script. I mean, they had it with Brad originally, and we're talking for a
Yeah.
little bit, and then dropped, and then it's kind of come into
Yeah.
place a couple times, and then just keeps dropping.
The script that I'm aware of seems to be the one that Mark Fergus wrote. That's the only one I know of that was going to be split. He wrote it as a double episode, and then it got rejigged, and then it got rewritten for a third time into this hybrid. Not a remake, but not a continuation. It was a standalone story that could fit within the SG-1 universe, but was standalone, so you didn't really need to have watched it. That sort of thing. So, which we've seen them kind of do with other projects in the past. But as far as I'm aware, and I'm not certain on this, so if this is the thing, but as far as I'm aware, that's the Mark Fergus script that's gone through like 3 rewrites. So that still seems to be one that was sat. Now, we were quite excited when Mark Fergus and Hawk Ostby left. Was it God of War or
God of War?
God of War, wasn't it?
And now it's Ronald D. Moore, right?
Ronald D. Moore's took over, and they're working with Sony. That project was a Sony, MGM, Amazon sort of cooperation. And they left, and Sony were all, these guys are great, we love them, they're brilliant. But we're going to go with Ronald D. Moore now because the project stalled and blah, blah, blah. So there were rumors that it's because Sony have now got Stargate and they've sort of just shuffled people about a bit. That could still be the case because it does seem that they're moving forward with something now. But what we've known for about a year was that under Jen Salke, they had penciled in to begin early development in the new year, this year, so early 2026. And because they still had a backlog from the writers' strike and they've been getting back up to speed and blah, blah, blah. But then Jen Salke leaving has caused issues because they basically decided to review everything that she'd signed off. I think that's what's caused this. Oh, I should add as well, by the way, I was told a bit later that actually this thing with the pitches was actually done a while ago. So it was actually a couple of months ago that Amazon put this out, and it's only just sort of got to us.
And now maybe those pitches are starting to hit their tables.
I don't know if it'll be coming in yet, because I imagine when they do this, it'll take a couple of months to put a pitch together, I should imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know that for certain, but I imagine it would take them a couple of months. Say it comes into Bad Robot, they go, right, there's a Stargate project we can pitch here. Right, we need to get our best morons together to come up with a brilliant idea. And all the morons get together. And J.J. Abrams at the top of the table going, okay, moron number 1, go. And then they say, what we should do is make Stargate aboard the Starship Enterprise. And yeah, let's do that. Or something else fucking ridiculous. Let's make the Stargate an octagon. And then MMA fans will like it. Yeah, let's do that. So, but then they have to like put through different ideas, don't they? And like come up with a pitch, and then they have to
refine
it, artwork, and yeah. So I imagine it takes a couple of months. But apparently, it was a couple of months ago, sort of midsummer. But which would have only been a couple of months after Jen Salke announcement was made.
Makes sense.
So the timeline fits. For me, I think they're going through the projects. They've got to Stargate basically. The people in charge have gone, well, this is delayed and delayed and delayed. Let's just basically start again. I think the example I used on the video was you're developing a new project or a new product sort of to go to market or a food or something, and you just can't get it right. And you keep trying, you keep getting to a certain point, but you can't quite get it right. At some point, you've got to scrap it and just say, look, we just need to start again. This isn't right. For whatever reason, this isn't right. So that seems to be what they're doing for me.
Well,
at least it's news. It's just not what we want.
Yeah.
It pushes us forward to a degree, at least, which is nice.
That's another way of looking at it as well. Sorry, Harris. Another way of looking at it is they could have looked at it and gone, this was shit. What the hell was Jen Salke or the team thinking with this? It's a load of rubbish.
True.
And they could have just dropped.
Scrap it, start again. That could be what's happening. So it could be a good thing. But I think Jen
it's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's not 100%. It's a reboot. They're just taking ideas for one. So we'll see.
Yeah. if
the
that
first time
option's
they've
on the
done that,
table,
yeah.
though,
Yeah.
if
But they're
the
thinking about it. They're considering it.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they've at least put that idea
Mhm.
out there for people to pitch to them like that, to me at least that signals that at the very least we're going to get that soft reboot. You know, might
Mhm.
not be a full hard reboot, but at very least it's going to be like a new generation of folks, and
What's
you
that?
might get a new character sprinkled in. The what? I was just saying
What are
hello to
those?
people waving coming in.
Yeah.
What are those links?
Those were just hands.
I
Do they
just got
show
a
up as
bunch of
links to
letters.
you?
I got millions and millions of letters. Okay.
They just look like
Oh,
little emojis.
it must not be working on your end or something. The emojis sometimes do weird things like that.
Yeah, interesting.
There's always a problem on my end. Hey, it's because it
But
doesn't
yeah,
work for.
to me that signals that there's only going to be at very minimum there's going to be a soft reboot. You know, it's not going to be the teams we're used to. It's not going to be the characters we're used to at the forefront of the story. Realistic. Right. One of the first thoughts that I had whenever you texted us and you put out the video was, does this open up the door for Jordan Peele and folks like that to come back in here and truly do that hard reboot that was on the table 10 months ago, 12 months ago?
It's more than that, isn't it? Jordan Peele.
That's like probably a year and a half.
18 months ago, 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jordan Peele ever got past, do you want to? I don't know. And that's simply about it.
Right.
It never sort of, they were looking for somebody new and edgy director, weren't they? When this is the run to the last, when they were thinking about doing the movie before. I'm not even sure they actually ever hired a director for that. Yeah,
they were just accepting pitches, right?
No, well, they got as far as gearing up. They even started to do some of the pre. Oh, they must have had a director, but I don't think we ever found out who it was. But Jordan Peele's name was when they basically got into 3 directors. I know one of them was Jordan Peele. But I think that would have been nearly 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
See what the time's gone by in it.
I know. As you said it, I was like, I think it is closer to about 18 months, 16 months, maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Like, good.
Well, we think, when did the strike start? That was in the.
They've been done for a year and a half, 2 years as well.
No, I mean, when did they start that year though? Because
it was like summer of 23.
Wasn't it?
I think, yeah.
So it was like late spring 23. They were gearing up. I spoke to somebody that actually saw some of the mock-ups in Poland of the gate. So I mean, he actually saw them and helped to. It wasn't an actually. Apparently, they do a mock-up, do lots of pictures on the HD thing, and trying to figure out how it will work and stuff, and then they build the full gate. So he saw some of the mock-ups and things that they were building, and then and he was sort of he was basically. I haven't spoken to him really much, but he was basically an electrician or something. He was a light engineer or something, I think.
Oh, cool.
So he, I'm not sure I should have said that.
I didn't think so. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's probably a mistake.
Just keep going.
You need to get out that. We need that Men in Black device we have. You know, you got to go get it.
Let's pretend I didn't say light engineer.
Don't repeat it.
It was a she. People can rewind anyway, mate. It was a child. A child. Yeah. So
Jack O'Neill Jr., Jack O'Neill 2, the clone.
So
who's like 40 now or whatever.
Well, yeah.
Maybe not a child.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, there was a German company that was going to do the CGI, and that's checkable because they were actually contracted, and that was on the Amazon. Amazon sort of had it as it was on one of their books sort of thing that they were hired to do this, and there was a working title. And I forgot what it was. Oh, I told you all guys at the time what the working title was.
I vaguely
bugger. Osiris.
It was like 18 months ago.
It was Osiris Dawns or something like that. It was called. That was the working title, and that was the Amazon release. So we know through Amazon they had this Osiris Dawns contract with a German company to do the CGI. And Amazon got in trouble at the time because then they didn't want to pay when the strikes happened. So they had to sort of do a deal with this. But there was loads of those, though, to be fair. So when the strikes happened, anything going abroad, they tried to keep going. If you remember when the strikes first happened, projects abroad, they kept trying to push on with them.
Yeah.
And then we all went, now we're going to stand with SAG-AFTRA. And they all just stopped. But,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, for a couple of months.
I believe that's like 2 years ago already. It seems crazy.
Yeah. When I was doing the video yesterday, I actually said last year, and then I went, no, it can't be. Because it didn't end until the autumn. It wasn't a year ago. I was like, Christ.
Yeah, it was like the end of 23 when it finally,
I was thinking somebody not long ago. They said, but I was thinking somebody not long ago, and they actually said, we're only really just in the middle of the the black period there. They said, well, so we're going to get a period where we would get less movies and less TV shows and things. And we're only sort of in it now. We're still getting stuff that was either delayed or pushed back because of the strikes now. They're only just really sort of just caught up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been 2 years. It's crazy. But so I'm certain that movie was up and running. They must have had a director, and if I knew who it was, I've forgotten.
I don't think you did. No.
I don't think we ever knew who it was, did we? But sorry, at the time, I remember saying that just before it just goes in production, everything in lockdown, and we stopped hearing anything for like 2 or 3 months. But anyway, but yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
If there was a movie that was supposed to come out, which
that would have been
strikes hadn't happened, it probably would have. But
that would have been that would have concluded filming by Christmas or just after 24. There would have been about a year. It would have been. I think actually wasn't it supposed to be out at the end of 25? I think that was supposed to be out at the end of 25.
Something like that.
They wanted it as a Christmas movie, I think, if I remember right. So it would have been out about now.
A Stargate Christmas.
Yeah,
that's my theme.
What fun.
5, what was it?
5.
Oh, we gotta. All right. If we do our, our Christmas Day hangout thing, we have to do that.
I will sing that from beginning to end, whether you like it or not. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And I can't remember I can't remember it now at all. 5 Indeeds. No, doesn't matter. I'll be doing that.
5 Indeeds is the one I remember. 2 blown up suns or something like that. 3 blown up suns from Carter. I don't remember all the others.
And Mark Fergus, I don't know if he's still involved or not. It seems like they have a project in line with Mark Fergus, but they're opening up to pitches. So at the moment, I imagine he can pitch his project again, or he can rethink his project and pitch it. So I would be shocked if he wasn't one of the companies they've contacted to say, right, so what I know is they've contacted companies or producers that they have exclusivity deals with, which does include Penguin and Parker. So I could imagine they were, and they have contacted a couple of other. The only one that's a geriatric is Richard Dean Anderson. The rest of them are just sort of like late 50s. It's not a problem. Daniel Jackson, in fact, Michael Shanks doesn't look any different. Ben Browder has not aged in 30 years. I'm assuming he's doing that. What was that thing that they were shooting up with all the youth celebrities were taking? Baby placenta or something. I think he was doing that because he's not aged. The band's not aging. So yeah, most of the cast could
show evil.
SGA, they're barely in their 50s,
right?
So it'll be fine. Well, one of them's pretty.
I think everybody still looks good. I mean, even RDA, if you've seen pictures of him lately, he doesn't look that bad.
No, and if they cut his hair a little bit, he's going to look like Bo Bridges did in the original series.
Well,
one of the
one of the rumors was that he was lost weight like crazy back in 2019 was because he was gearing up to do Brad Wright's Stargate Plan, which he was definitely going to be in. It probably just been a cameo, but he was definitely going to be in it. So,
well, if we put ourselves in the shoe, Ben Browder is 62. No way.
Yeah, late 50s, early 60s. I think they all are. Yeah. But yeah, he wouldn't look like. I bet Michael Shanks is as well. Late 50s, early 60s. All the Botox in there, you can't tell.
JC remembered it.
Oh, Death Cloud is doing 11 threads.
Oh wait, maybe that's not it. I don't know. Fearing 10 System Lords.
Oh,
10 System Lords of Leap in 9. I think he's just come up with his own.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't put the map in either.
Yeah.
But that's actually. But I think I did do 12 Death Gliders.
Some there were Death Gliders in there.
12
Hey, oh, he's still going.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's just put ourselves in the minds of an Amazon executive. So we're not simply Stargate fans here. We are Amazon executives.
Mm-hmm.
How would you bring back Stargate? Are you going to say, hey, we have a devout fan base that wants longer seasons. They want this, this, and that. We can try our hardest to get that. We've tried really hard to get to that, and we haven't been able to yet. Or start over, and then do you do it 13 episodes a season, 16 episodes a season? Do you try to bring it back up to 18 or 22? I don't know if that's truly realistic nowadays. Or do you do the current model of TV, like that 10, 12-hour movie? And then from there, do you approach it similarly? People are getting tired of the MCU's kind of humor like that over and over again. Do you lean back into the humor? Or Sarah and I were mentioning yesterday after Farscape Patreon is, do you lean into almost what's the word I'm looking for? Prestige TV. Do you try to make it a more encapsulating story? Not necessarily, because Stargate has a beautiful overarching story that is a very strong story. It's just trotted along so much by the Monster of the Week stuff, which obviously we all love and enjoy.
Of course.
But from an executive's point of view, is that what fits the modern mold of TV? Is that going to keep people coming back? Or do you need that thing like, okay, this leads into the next episode. This also leads into the next episode. I don't think we could do a Monster of the Week necessarily in today's climate. Would y'all agree? And if y'all are that executive, what avenue would you take?
I can't remember the start of the question.
No.
If you're an Amazon exec, how would you do it?
I got that, but then you went on for like
You really got it. If we want to, I think doing kind of, a Monster of the Week occasionally, but I think it'd be good to have like a thread that goes through like the whole season at least, or even if you do like a 5-season bigger arc, but maybe each season has a smaller arc. I don't know. I think that would be good, but it'd be fun to have those kind of one-off, crazy, zany, funny episode. Have 1 or 2 of those just for fun. But yeah, I think the 13 episodes is probably about. I mean, they're going to be very expensive to produce if they're going to do that. I don't know. I mean, that's the other question too.
Yeah, that raises budgets.
How is it going to look? But I think for me, I think I would go for more of like in a, SGU Expanse, BSG kind of feel.
Okay, so you'd also emphasize on improving CGI and practical effects and making sure it looked like it was a modern TV show as well, rather than lean into the kind of the B-movie fun of it in a way.
Right, yeah. I mean, you can still have some humor in there. Like I said, have a crazy episode or crazy things happen or whatever. I mean, you can have fun with it too, but yeah, I think that would just be the look that they would go for. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, let's make this look like a 90s show. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. Jay, you got thoughts?
Yeah. Many. They're all piffy though. I can't say any of them on anything. They're all really dirty. Not that. And on Stargate, you mean? If they do a series, what I would like is actually for them to do a realistic show that had a little bit of humor in, because people are funny. I mean, look at this guy, fucking hilarious. But real life is funny, so I think you can have humor in a TV show and it still be good. It doesn't have to be silly. It doesn't have to be a comedy. Stargate wasn't a comedy. You just had Jack O'Neill being sarcastic and, or seeing the humor in moments and things. They went a bit much with it, or they leaned into the comedy more times than others, sort of thing. But
for sure.
But generally speaking, it was a serious show with a little sprinkle of humor. And for me, that's what a realistic TV show should be. If you want something that's gritty and real, people don't walk around like all the time. Oh, very good, thank you, Manellis.
Yeah, he's just updating ages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
they're all not that old.
He's only 54. Oh, I see. So that's older, 50s, 60s. Ben Browder's older. I was surprised.
Yeah, that is.
I thought they were exactly the same age and the same person. So
small genetic.
I don't think we're going to get more than 12 or 13 episodes if they do a TV series, because it'll be straight to streaming. I don't think they have to do ridiculous cost. You know, that's one of the reasons why they're doing these massive LCD screen studios and a building that's crazy. So they could
The Expanse didn't spend that much, right? I mean,
$5 million an episode, or $4 to $5 million an episode. But nowadays, if you don't have big cast and you don't have like a big name actor sort of thing in there, they could do this for $4 or $5 million an episode, really easily. They're not going to do 26 episodes for a sci-fi show. Again.
No, I don't think for any show.
No, it's just too expensive.
Well, I guess there are still some but
you'll still get some of these. Well, even shows like The Rookie or CSI or things like that. Yeah, they're going to become rarer and rarer because the big networks are becoming rarer and rarer. And it's only the network that wants shows of that length because it fits their season thing. So, no, we're gonna see that a lot less. But I think they'll go movie.
Oh yeah,
for myself. Everything I've heard for now, like 18 months, has just been movie. I know MGM want a series. They're desperate for series, and they are getting to a point now where their budgets are starting to. Their budget has increased, so they're starting to get things. They've got a big Robin Hood show coming soon, which is actually quite an expensive show, and they are getting up and running again. MGM Plus, after having about 18 months of having their budgets frozen, while sort of Amazon MGM sort of rejigged how they were doing Prime and what have you, reorganizing some of the business stuff after losing a crap load of money following COVID. Amazon lost a lot of money, made a crap load and lost it almost immediately. So they had to rejig a lot. But that's the Robin Hood series that's coming. So MGM Plus would desperately wants to do Stargate. So unless Mike Wright can convince somebody, it's not on the most recent thing they released. So every year they release a thing of what series they're doing. It wasn't on the last one, but they release it every March or so. So you never know. We might hear rumors, but
maybe a movie kicks that off. I guess that's the idea, right? The movie does well, and then they make it into a series from that.
That's what always seemed to be the idea was. For me, I would do a series, which the problem is if you do a sci-fi series and spend the sort of money we're talking about, you could make a movie. So from a financial point of view, it might not make a difference. If you do a streaming movie, though, you don't spend the sort of money you do for a cinematic movie.
And Netflix has kind of changed that a little bit, and Amazon's not necessarily outside of the culprit of that either.
Even when they do that, they don't have the same budgets.
I mean, look at Electric State, look at The Gray Man, look at Extraction. Those are multiple hundreds of millions of budgets. Those are the same as
I don't think a lot of those were paying the actors. But what was the Electric State budget?
Like $300 million. It was insane.
I'm going to Google it. Electric State movie budget $300 million. That was a terrible movie.
Well, I had a lot of the robots were all CGI. That was expensive.
$320 million. So I mean, traditionally speaking, streaming movies don't cost that. Section 31 that was terrible only cost like $30 million. So, but they did that basically as a double episode. And then as well, actually saying that. It's cheaper to make that show because they already had they used sets and stuff that they're already using and things like that. So remembering a lot of these things, do you know what the first episode of Star Trek Voyager all those years ago cost to make? The first double episode. Remembering they averaged at less than $3 million an episode. On average, that's what they averaged. Guess what the first episode cost?
6.
2. That's under
$27 million. The first 2 episodes
Really?
cost Star Trek Voyager.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was expensive. But then the rest of the series was about $3 million. The new Starfleet Academy series, they've spent $200 million on the first season. But the second season will break out much lower because they're building these sets and doing everything else. So the second season will be much lower. It's going to average out at closer to about $15 million an episode, they think. So it's a lot. But
that's true.
I just did B-side said I never finished section 31. I wish I hadn't. I have a sci-fi channel. I fucking had to watch the damn thing. But yeah, so yeah, it would cost a lot just to do this as a setup, as a series. You spread a lot of those costs out over a series. But yeah, they don't do $300 million movies, those things for Netflix very often. But then, I mean, what was Moon? What was that Moon crap? That was another one that was $200-something million, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Rebel Moon. Oh my.
Rebel Moon.
Oh yeah.
But generally speaking, streaming movies don't cost as much because you're not going to put them on a big screen, so they don't have to spend quite as much on the sort of the render and the special effects and things. Don't have to be quite up to scratch because they'll still look great on a smaller screen. But on a cinema, you'd go, that looks weird. So you know, and a lot of the sets don't have to be quite as big, and they can bring it all down a little bit. But then you get something like Rebel Moon or, like you said, Electric State. Then, I mean, both those films had small cinematic releases, didn't they? I don't know why they didn't release it in cinema, to be honest. It's just stupid not to. But yeah, Rebel Moon, Moonfall was terrible.
Oh god. So with Roland Emmerich in his IMAX little thing, and that was fun, but it was so bad.
Roland Emmerich is such a hit and miss guy. He's done some awful crap over the years, but then just absolute genius stuff. But,
good stuff.
But yeah, you could do a streaming movie for $30 or $40 million. Yeah, and it'd be good, and it'd be fine.
So this is where I worry about, because I think, and like Modest Traveler showing us right now, streaming movies they've since 2019 have just been going up 150, 200 million, 159 million.
Well, look, no, but going back to those then, all right. How much of Red Notice went to the actors?
Well, exactly, but it's still part of the budget, nonetheless. Like, it's still,
I mean, that's a big part of it when they're being paid 15 million quid each. The 3 million. You've spent $45 million of your budget on the 3 actors. The Irishman was the same.
Yep.
They spent a fortune, but actually the special effects at the time were like revolutionary, cost a fortune. I don't know. Triple Frontier. What's Triple Frontier?
It was the Ryan Reynolds like parkour action movie kind of thing, and it was fun.
Triple Frontier.
Kind of dumb.
Do you know what I mean?
No. You're thinking of that's what you just said. That was that one. Triple Frontier is, I think it's 6
Underground. Yeah,
that's that.
Ryan Reynolds mostly paying for that and the special effects.
Right.
But then again, that was supposed to be like it was a cinema quality movie, which not all streaming movies are. I don't know Triple Frontier.
Triple Frontier is awesome. That might be my favorite of the Netflix movies in a lot of ways. It had Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund.
I don't think I saw that.
It's a good little action movie. It's a really good action movie.
Was that like wait, what movie or what year did that come out?
Did you say 2019?
I think it's about.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it. Yeah.
2019. Yep, March 3rd, 2019.
Yeah.
It's a solid movie. But that is what worries me. Going forward with something like this, is they're going to end up. Do you end up? Because I did also just look up the other movies that are big on Netflix right now that aren't necessarily what we'd be watching, but maybe lean a little younger and stuff like that, or like the Enola Holmes movies with Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah. Those had budgets of 20 million, 50 million, and 40 million for the next one coming out. So that is more of the range of budget we would expect. Right. Not necessarily want, but do we think Amazon Prime would lean that way or would lean higher budget? Because everything that Amazon's ever done makes me think budget.
Something like this. Well, we were talking about a cinematic budget of $80 million for production when they were doing the movie, and that was for cinema.
Right. Yeah,
that's just the production budget, not the full budget. The full budget was close to 150, but for the production of $80 million, and that was considered modest. For a sci-fi movie, it's quite modest.
Yeah, it would be.
Amazon.
They'd probably spend in that range, I would think. For at least if they're gonna do it depends on if they're gonna release it in theaters or not, or why not do both? And like a limited theater release and streaming, or
Amazon's strategy for a lot of these films is to release them on cinema, and then they don't really care how the film does.
It's more marketing.
Which is the smarter way to do it. It is a proven fact that if you put something in a cinema, people are more attuned to watch it whenever it gets to streaming rather than, oh, look, it just came to streaming. I'll maybe check it out. You know?
Red One killed France. They absolutely killed it. And everyone's saying again, oh, it's bombed. And Amazon were just there going, it basically broke even. We are dancing. Because then when we're going to release it on Amazon, we own a paywall, people will pay for that. And then we'll release it on Amazon normally. And it's a brilliant advert for our Christmas run this year.
Oh yeah,
on Amazon, great. And so I even said on one of our streams, as soon as Red One came out, and went, that'll be out at Christmas. Yep. And I was roundly told, you're a fucking idiot. Why would they do that? That's insane. And I'm like, they've released it too early. They've released it like the start of November as a Christmas movie. That's going to be on Amazon at Christmas, and it was, and it killed.
Yeah.
Was that the one that had Jason Momoa in it? That was a different one.
The Rock. It was The Rock and Chris.
Oh, The Rock. Oh, it was. But there was a Jason Momoa kind of kids movie too, not too long ago.
Yeah, he had it's Slumber same thing. And it's actually, I've seen half of it, and what I saw I really enjoyed. Just
I'm not sure Triple Frontier was out in the UK.
Oh, maybe.
If not, put that VPN.
It was like a streaming movie. I remember liking it.
It's
like
solid.
Ex-military, ex-special forces dude doing something. I forget what the story was, but
as soon as I get off this, I'm going to go and watch it.
Oh, nice.
Happy days. My evening sorted. I'm done now. Yeah, I've told you everything. I'll see you later.
I'm just so worried about.
He doesn't like us anymore.
He's now got existential about the hard reboot, and he's just like, I gotta go. I gotta watch something else.
The movie idea, though, what I was saying was, and I sort of said this in the video. Do you guys think that we can actually get something that is more what we feel Stargate is? Because I was saying, if we do Stargate and SG-1 reboot, and really, I would say SGA wasn't core Stargate. No, that's not fair. SGU wasn't. Yeah. SGU was closer to what I would say, like Star Trek or Star Wars, like spaceships and things. I mean, SGU, I suppose, caught the feeling by the fact that they really didn't know where anything was, and they were, it was low tech in that respect, I suppose. But SGA was different again. But the core thing of Stargate was that, you know, we've got our MP5s and we're going through the gate, and we're going up against gods and blah, blah, blah. We don't really know what we're doing. But by the end of SG-1, spaceships, Asgard weapons, we're the most powerful guy in the universe. I think that's closer to Star Trek. You could even argue by the end of SG-1, why were they still using the gate? Because you could get their spaceship.
They weren't a lot of time.
Yeah, that's true. You could get there just as quick. So, and you'd have a spaceship. So, so maybe we could actually get something that is more what we actually think of as Stargate by doing a hard reboot, because they could get back to basics, sort of thing. Yeah.
There's a thing I like about that. Like there's kind of a special thing about the earlier seasons of Stargate, that it was more simple. Then when you start getting to the, using Asgard technology and Ori and all that.
I love the idea of all that. I want it to be true. I actually don't think if a soft reboot or a continuation just in general were to happen, I don't think the technology is a big issue at all. The more I think about it, the less I think of it. think of it as an issue because SGA was running and SG1 by the end of it. We're
Mhm.
beaming people up every episode. Things are going here. Things are going here. And it didn't block the story or inhibit it at all. It furthered it, if anything. And there are the planet builders in place as well, which
Yeah.
who knows what the hell, excuse my French, what they are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I want to know that.
that, and it's so technologically far more technologically advanced than we can even comprehend within the series
Right.
that we got. So I think there's still plenty of room technologically to leap forward and find the balance, maybe lose a little technology at some point, whatever that ends up being.
Yeah.
Um,
You can make it work.
I worry with a hard reboot, though,
Hmm.
that the only core Stargate that they're going to want to keep, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's just one of my worries, which is also a little bit exciting in its own way, would be that they're not going to try to make it core Stargate anymore. They're going to make it modern, not that prestige TV necessarily, but not. I think the easiest model to follow now would be Foundation rather than even an Expanse. I think it just logically makes a lot more sense, especially from the studio producer and studio executive side of things. And if that happens, I think there's still going to be humor. There's still going to be some of the zaniness and silliness that was just because, hey, it's sci-fi that tends to find itself in there just a little bit, at times. But I think it would be a much more serious series that would focus on less the monster of the week, like we mentioned earlier, but far more on, okay, well, this Jaffa storyline is going here. And in the original series, we got probably 10, 12 episodes total over the course of about 6-8 seasons about this. Let's do 2 episodes a season this season. See if we can get 2 hours worth of a movie's worth of time for that storyline, and then keep moving past that. I think that would be more the goal of the filmmakers in that perspective, especially when it comes to the series rather than the film. I just don't see modern TV making leaning into that at all. As much as I'd love for them to go 13, 16, 18, 22 episodes if possible, I think it's going to be much more close to that 10-hour movie, maybe 12-hour movie if we're lucky. And about every 3 to 4 episodes, we're going to have a new major overarching arc that ties into the longer season/series arc. But week in, week out. Yeah, week in, week out, I feel like we're going to get Jaffa, Lucian Alliance. Maybe we follow more Unis. Maybe we follow more Tok'ra. And I think that could be a really good thing that we didn't get to explore in the original series as much.
Yeah, I agree.
Nonetheless, that does zap some of the joy out of what Stargate just fundamentally was. Yeah. And that's the hard balance to find, I think. That's wrong with that. We're on movie number 2 or 3 and pitch number about 47 by now. Shoot.
I do think there's a risk what we'll end up getting is a Stargate in name only. It'll be a big circular donut, Stargate, and then it'll be something, and there might be the odd thing that's called a gold or something, but it'll be completely different. My fear is I look at what Star Trek has happened. I don't think Star Wars as much, even though as a Star Wars fan you might complain that, they've changed everything. Star Trek changed everything. And I fear that we might get something like that. But I mean, Star Trek was also then done badly, which is also a bonus. You can have something that's different and look good, but as long as it's good. And my positive brain on being positive, I think, well, Battlestar Galactica was very different, and they changed a lot, and it was hailed as genius. Fizzled off at the end of it. So it's doable if it's good. At the end of the day, if it's done well, it doesn't really matter, does it? If it's done well, we won't care. Yeah. In 10 years' time, we'll look back and go, do you remember when we were worried that this was going to be crap?
We were worried for years.
Yeah, we were worried for years.
10 years.
Yeah, 4 years. But I was going to say, though, I have a concern. And again, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, in the long run. But the last 3 years politically has been, let's say, a bit weird.
Yeah.
And I don't mean politics in Trump and blah, blah, blah. I mean like in TV.
Yes.
And and in the entertainment business in a whole. You know, we had the Me Too movement, and there was a massive swing to the left thanks to the Me Too movement. And then everyone realized we don't really like that. So now there's been a massive swing to the right. But things like a show like Stargate, even though it's not particularly political at its core,
right,
it's still a sci-fi show, still does. But things like having the military in a TV show, a few years ago, you could do that and put a positive spin on the military. But at the moment, I don't know how you guys feel, but on the outside looking in, it does look like America. I think I'm just wondering if it might be quite difficult to have a TV show that's sort of like Stargate that celebrates the military in the way it does. Saying that, though, Stargate celebrated the military and demonized the government in lots of ways.
Yeah.
So maybe that works better. But what do you guys? I just think it's been so much turmoil. I can understand that Amazon may be looking at a show like Stargate and think, is this the right time for a show like this?
I think it just depends on how the military is portrayed. I think most people would be fine with it. I really do. It's just, but there's places they could take it to that people would not like, for sure.
Well,
I think there's a way to keep it kind of not, it's there, but not the main focus of the show. Yeah.
Well, and I want them to stand up I want them to annoy people. Because I think if a show's not being brave, if a show's just trying to be vanilla, now I'd like them to take a stand either way. And regardless of what your politics are, if I'm a bit right wing and I go, I don't like it, someone else is left wing, or I don't like, as long as they're making me feel something in a way.
One thing that the original
stories though don't have to focus so much on the military. The military is there, but you can do all that other stuff in the stories. Yeah,
the function to make the story happen, isn't it? Which is what it was. The military wasn't very military, really.
I was about to say they kind of end up being more of a vanilla military the way that it's approached in there. Now the things that happen are not; those take stances of like, okay, well, this is good. This is maybe the government's not so good in this spot. Yada yada yada. But generally, I feel like the military is kind of handled vanilla-like in Stargate, and if they were to, because tonally, we already said just a minute ago, which we don't know if that's going to end up being what we'll get, if it's a true hard reboot or anything like that. If they were to make sure that something was to cross over from the old into the new, tonal-wise, I think it should be the way they treated the military, in the sense of military's not taking sides. You have people that like it. You have people that don't. Sometimes the people that love it, like Ben Browder in there, his Cam was a huge military man, and you also see his personal life completely falling apart at home, and he doesn't have a home life at all. So there is ways of doing that without actually getting into the nitty gritty. There are ways of subtly showing you that, and it's subtle, but you pick up on it. It's there. I feel like that is something to have that happy middle ground. Thank you for typing that, Peter.
Yeah, that should be our motto for life at the moment. Can we try to find a middle ground, please?
People forget about that nowadays. Even if we might disagree on 10 or 20% of something, we probably agree on 70-80% of everything else. Like, find the things you agree on with people and not rip them apart. I don't know.
Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about politics. You'll get me going, and then you'll get
of course. But
they were leaning towards it being run by civilians anyway. That was a storyline in there, so that could have happened, and just military provides security or something.
And the other thing is, if you did a continuation, you could do that. That it's an independent body. Now, this is Stargate thing that they're independent from the government. And somehow, maybe like you said, like an oversight, or it's a worldwide thing. The UN is in charge now, which would be logical. You do an independent thing that's because the whole world would kick off if it was just America. Everybody would kick off if this was real. So maybe they say, right, okay, we're going to go into UN control. We're going to put it in an island neutral somewhere and no one government's in control of this, and that's how they do it. And then you remove like real life politics out of the equation altogether.
Yeah.
And you could just do that. So there are ways of doing it. And I think somebody said, oh, they'll find a way to make it political. All sci-fi is political. Always has been. Always will be.
Mm-hmm.
All sci-fi is a social commentary on something.
Yeah.
Always has been.
It should still be that, but it should be the sci-fi that does that, and not necessarily like
metaphors.
Exactly. Yeah. Just don't
beat
people down with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not shoved in your face. I remember, I was like, Star Trek was always brilliant for this, even though sometimes it was in your face, but it was still through a metaphor.
Yeah.
The best example is the black and white episode. Everyone knows the iconic episode where he's black on the wrong side, basically. So he is considered a terrorist sort of thing. He's in a terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the episode, the planet's actually been destroyed because they're off chasing each other. By the time they get back, they've gone to war and destroyed themselves. So it's not a subtle simile about racism, or a subtle metaphor. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it was still a metaphor. It was still to go, oh, I think they mean sometimes in Star Trek in the last few years, they've there's one episode in I think it's the third episode in Picard season 2. They're literally story, and it's 7 of 9 and Raffi, and then go walk through a car park on Earth, and it's set now. It's story, and they literally just go stop and go. They almost like look at the screen almost and go, racism's bad. Story. It's so stuck out like a sore thumb. It's sort of like, what the F was that? It was like
to check a box or something.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like a punch in the face. It was like the Ghostbusters with boobs they did, and the whole film you just feel like there's somebody in the background going, "Sexism bad." I was, yeah, we know. Can you like do a joke that's not telling us that sexism is bad again? You can. It's okay. We get it in the first 10 minutes. Sexism bad. Well, I agree, but can we now have a movie, please? So you get it was just like.
Well, and there's that TNG episode too with the Riker, where there's that androgynous race or whatever. That's like interesting. That's very kind of obvious too, but
the sci-fi's always been political and always done that. And it's not always subtle. But I agree. But to be honest, I've always thought if it's done well enough, though, people just don't notice.
Very much so.
It's it doesn't necessarily feel like you've been punched in the dick when you watch it anyway. But
one example of that we already mentioned the guy earlier. If we do a hard reboot and it is a film, if that's what we get as a Stargate audience, as the fan base, and that would be one of my worries with, as much as he's made 3 movies so far, and I've gone day one to see all 3 of them, and I actually thoroughly enjoy all 3. Is Jordan Peele? I mean, as much as I love his films, if he were to do Stargate, and I don't even like the words coming out of my mouth, but are we really just going to focus on, would we end up just focusing on like the Jaffa and their servitude and slave endowment to all the different service lords, system lords? That would be important.
Yeah. The other thing I think you've got to remember with that is that Jordan Peele is a massive sci-fi fan. I know he does his projects that are that do push his personal view, and is very is black centric a word? Yeah. Well, he was focused on his, I want to say his agenda, but agenda's always got a negative connotation. But he has an idea of what he wants his films to say, and that's what they say. But he's also a massive sci-fi fan, and he did that Twilight Zone thing. Yes, that wasn't the same. That was just pure sci-fi. So I think if he did get Stargate, I think we would respect, and he is a massive Stargate fan. We know he's a massive Stargate fan. He's talked about it in interviews. So I don't think he would do that. I think that's why Amazon asked him and sort of got him involved and got him down to the last 3, because he has talked about being a Stargate fan. So, and a huge sci-fi fan.
Cool.
That should be first and foremost what they're looking for too.
Yeah,
and,
get a fan.
So someone that cares about the actual product and projects themselves. Yeah, with
what Mark Fergus to do.
Yeah, well, I agreed, honestly. And I think that's just a necessary thing to bring up, is if you're going to find some of these more auteur directors, they are going to have things they do focus on in their movies typically. And does it have a place in Stargate? Because we immediately say Jaffa when it comes to a Jordan Peele. Like, that is perfectly like put in that. Also, the Unis work with that. The Ritu work with that. You can any species in the entire galaxy that's been subjugated by the Goa'uld, even the humans spread across the galaxy, kind of have that. And you know, I don't think that's a bad element to choose. It just doesn't necessarily. If we have an auteur director or an auteur kind of vision that they're kind of leaning towards, there will be a specificity of that director, of that filmmaker's just natural repertoire that they bring to filmmaking inside of that project. And I don't think that's a bad thing by any means. I think Jordan Peele actually would be one of the better ones to do something like that.
It'd be interesting.
It'd be him doing something a bit different cinematically than what he's done as well.
Totally. And
so,
maybe just
I mean,
a Jafar movie or something. That'd be sick too.
So you
give him
has he got a production company? We should be see if he's going to pitch. If he's got a production company, he must do, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got Monkey Paw Productions.
Monkey Paw. So
I'd love to see that again.
You never know. I'll keep an eye open for the name. I need to do a list of all the companies I think it might be and see if I can find out. But I just I could see somebody like that doing it. But like you said, it's got to be. I think Mark Fergus is ideal to write it. I think he's done so much work on it already that he must have some brilliant ideas on where to go. But I think if it's a series, it'll be Mark Fergus. If they do a movie, it won't be. It'll be somebody else. But and if you think about that, we've seen that with like Alien, and Alien Romulus, and then Alien Earth. Is even though they collaborate a lot with each other, it's a different.
Yeah,
There's different skill, isn't there, to do a series or do a movie?
Yeah,
it is a different skill.
They are very different.
Yeah. So it seems to me though that the movie is going to be a test run, and to see if it spawns into something else.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's the wrong way around. I've always thought it was the wrong way around. With my sort of boss hat on, or Amazon boss hat, I can sort of do a movie and see that's traditionally how you do it. You do a movie, and then if it's popular, you go into a series. But to be honest, I think it's the wrong way around. I think you do a series, and if it does well, do a movie.
Mini series.
The perfect example for that right now is Mandalorian and Grogu, and I don't know how many people are actually excited about that.
I don't think they'll be doing it again.
No, and I think that's why Stargate should start with a movie, and it should not think about trying to do a movie later. Because at the end of, if you do movies after a series end, you have a niche audience that you're shooting for a large audience to go to, which is not 100% realistic. Which is why they tend to do TV movies, which end up just being the lesser quality of something that could be better. It should start with the film and keep going with the series. But with that film in mind, if we start there, do y'all want an auteur director like a Jordan Peele, just because that's the easy one we keep going back to? But somebody like that, Steven Soderbergh and Adam Driver spent 2 years writing a Ben Solo movie to follow up on Rise of Skywalker that Bob Iger just shot down, which might have to do some videos and start talking about that a little bit too, because that sucks. But if Steven Soderbergh, who's one of the best directors right now working, is willing to do some like sci-fi, space fantasy, something in that realm, do we have maybe a possibility of getting a cool director that you wouldn't expect for a Stargate movie? And is that even a good thing? Or should we go back to kind of the idea that started it all and get kind of a cheesy popcorn director like Roland Emmerich? As much as I do enjoy some Roland Emmerich movies, he's not bringing forth the next Aaron Sorkin script. He's not bringing forth the next Oscar-winning movie either. We're Jordan Peele.
We're not going to win.
Maybe
but we're not winning any Oscars.
No. But if you were to hire somebody like Jordan Peele to make a film like Stargate, you're going to have aspects of that ability of filmmaking baked into the product no matter what.
Right.
Roland Emmerich, as much as I do enjoy his films, isn't to the same pedigree of a filmmaker.
Popcorn movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the better angle, y'all think?
It's hard to say. I mean, an auteur, as you say, it would be interesting if it's done well. That could be fun, but I don't know if that has a broad enough appeal to people in the fan base. I don't know. I would like to see it because I like quirky, weird things sometimes, but I don't know.
I think this has got to be like the first Stargate movie was, in a way. It's more of an action movie with some sci-fi than a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
We get some quite strange sci-fi.
Yeah, that would be the way to
movies
go.
occasionally. You think about things like oh god, I've forgotten what it was called. The sci-fi movie last year, it didn't end up doing very well. They had the little robot AI girl with the oh, for God's sake, I didn't know what it was called.
The companion, Megan.
And yeah, the companion, I think, was the one I was thinking about. And then that didn't do great. Megan did okay, but that's more of a horror movie. But I think this has got to be an action movie with a back of thingy. Now, Borderlands was terrible. Dear Lord, that was bad. It was so bad. It was embarrassing to watch. I'm there going, oh.
I haven't seen it.
I feel like I need to send Chris
in
Hart an email.
It's the only time I've ever seen Kate Blanchett in something, and I was just like, get off my screen. Like,
it was
not
really
for her.
bad.
But,
I think I was thinking of the companion. But we get like quite serious sci-fi sometimes, or like I don't think it can be that. I think it needs to be a bit of a pop. Who's the creator? Who's the creator I was thinking about? Thank you. It's just, I think it's got to have a little bit of fun to it, because Stargate always did. That's one of the reasons why we sort of complained about SGU, because it didn't. Even though you look back at it now, and it's like,
did the Stargate movie really have a lot of fun to it though?
Yeah.
When and where, if I'm being honest.
The chicken thing, and anyway,
it wasn't out and out funny in places, but it was. Well, for one, it was a buddy movie.
Yes.
You had Daniel Jackson and thing become thing. There was a lot more cheekiness towards the middle bits. I think was more where the cheekiness was, but even sort of like the mocking of Daniel's character.
That's true.
And it sneezing things. There was elements of things, but also it was an action movie quite a bit. The sci-fi, and if you think about it as well, the sci-fi was a bit silly, because really what they did was they went, the ancient Egyptians were aliens, and we're going to really run with it. It's like it didn't really. So it was a fun. Nobody expected the original Stargate movie to make any money at all. The original production company sold it to MGM for like nothing. It's like $15 million or something, and then it became MGM's third highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
For a period, the highest grossing film of all time before Jurassic Park took it out
for when it was released.
Right.
Yeah. So
I remember I love the whole concept is like great. It's like
It does feel like a 3 o'clock in the morning stoned off your tits concept.
The best kind.
Well, but what was in those cakes? I've got this brilliant idea.
Jaffa cakes.
It all came from Jaffa cakes.
Just to totally change subject just for a second, Peter Moore asked, has Alien Earth been a success? It's quite an interesting question.
Which one?
Because has Alien Earth been a success? 1930s, he sent it. So, breathe in, deep breath. Kind of.
Yeah.
From a minute's point of view, compared to cost, I was speaking to somebody about this about a week and a half ago. Right? And this comes under the same bracket as the other Disney thing. Well, Ashoka for one, but mainly Andor. That they do. This guy's basically like. I'm trying to think of a way to say it. And that doesn't.
Oh, it would have been so good right there.
Right. This guy knows what he's talking about. Okay. This is so much easier when you're not live. Right. So this guy knows what he's talking about, and he was talking about a few Disney projects, and he was saying it really depends on how you look at it. Depends on how they did. So they look at it in 2 or 3 different ways. So how much social media hype does it generate? Which is really interesting because it gets people talking about the project and gets people aiming at Disney. How many rewatches you get? And because that's really important, because it's actually overall minutes sort of thing. So rewatches, they really, really like rewatches. And then if someone gets a rewatch, the thinking is it adds legs onto the life of the show. Because if you get a show that people come back and watch every so often, that's like the golden egg.
Yeah.
That's why like Disney love Firefly and would love to do something with Firefly in the future if Nathan Fillion would agree to it, which he isn't going to. That's what they love, shows like that. They're quite rare, but they get watched constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like printing money for them for a show like that. So they really like that. But then it's actually initial minutes. So how much is a show actually watched? And they basically go look at, say you've got 100 hours and you make $100 billion a month from or $100 million a month from subscriptions. If somebody watches, if 100 hours of your views that month, or 30 hours of that 100 million views that month are one show, well, that's worth $300 million then to them, sort of thing. And that's how they look at it.
Yeah.
And that's how they monetize value. Alien Earth didn't do that well from a minutes point of view, compared to how much it cost to make. And to be honest, neither did Andor. They're saying from a purely minutes point of view, it did not. When they then do the math and they figure out how much financially it's been worth to them that month, it wasn't what it cost to make it. So it would be, if it was released at the box office, it would be considered a bomb. It only took like half of its production cost or something. So from that point of view, no. From a interest on social media stuff point of view, it did really well. Alien Earth had a lot of interaction, a lot of talk on it, and so did Andor. Some of it a bit negative because of the cost of Andor, but people that watched it loved it, and they do again a bit of math to think about how well appreciated by the core audience it was, and Andor did really well on that, so that the Star Wars fans really liked it. So and leading into the rewatch, it got rewatches.
Right.
So if you get a TV show that then somebody within a month or so will watch again, or apparently one of the big markers is if they'll watch like Mondays and then week 2 they'll watch the first episode again before they watch the second episode, which apparently some people do. I don't get it. You must. How short a memory do you people have that you need to rewatch an episode before you watch episode 2? They also do something with binges. If people binge a series, they really like it when people binge a series. So what sometimes people will do is they'll watch each episode, and then at the end, a month will go by, and then they'll binge the whole thing again. So that's again another marker that they really like. And Alien Earth and Andor and shows like they do really well on that. So even though the minutes weren't great, as far as they're concerned, it was a success, and they're really happy with it.
Yeah.
So the long answer to that was that. The short answer was, yeah, they were right. It did well. But it's just a weird landscape with digital at the moment. It's equivalent to, back in the day when a movie bombed at the cinema and then did really well on video. And so the cinemas just kept doing it. The video, I also saw Kevin Smith talking about this, and he's saying, I've never had a film do well at the cinema ever. All of my films just about break even at the cinema. But then they do the same again on video. So the production companies love it. The New Line Cinema, they love me because I'll do a film for almost nothing and I double their money every time. So it's a similar thing really to that. It's like how Superman and Fantastic Four actually made a shitload of money for Disney and Warner Brothers, even though both of them barely broke even. Well, Fantastic Four lost a fair bit of money at the cinema.
I think Superman technically lost money as well.
Well, there's different reports.
Yeah.
So it depends what you believe. Deadline said they made $100 million at the cinema. I spoke to somebody that, again, knows about these things, and he says it just about broke even. It might have made about $30 or $40 million.
I keep seeing that it lost 20 or 30.
Yeah, not significant. Yeah, so a lot of these are estimates. When you've got worldwide box office, the numbers don't come in for months. So they're estimating that it made a bit. But yeah, either way. But
there's a lot of fancy accounting too.
There's a lot of very clever accounting going on. Yeah. But on the home cinema, Superman did really well in the West. It absolutely smashed it in the West. It got 500,000 views in 3 days in America alone. I was told it's had more than 50 million views on home cinema, where people have paid for it in the first 4 weeks. 50 million views worldwide. But the weird thing is, Fantastic Four did about the same, but it didn't do as well in the West. I think because people know it's going to be on Disney Plus in the next week or two. It will be on Disney Plus really soon. So I'm the same. I've paid for Superman. I watched Superman a couple of weeks ago. I paid to watch it. It's like a tenner. I won't pay to watch Fantastic Four because I know it will be on Disney Plus soon. So, and I think that affects it. But Asia, China, and places like that, Fantastic Four did brilliant. It did really, really well. It outsold Superman 2-1 in India.
Really?
And the guy I was doing, so again, it's his opinion, but he was sort of saying that Superman's seen as a very American thing. It's a very American character, and that's not massively popular. But also DC isn't really popular in India and China particularly. They've picked Marvel. They love Marvel, and they're like really like they stick with Marvel. So I said a lot of the films that we think have been utter crap recently with Marvel have still made a crap load of money because they've been really popular in India and China.
Overseas.
They're loyal sort of thing to Marvel. So yeah, this guy was telling me that he thinks Fantastic Four and Superman have made about $700, $800 or $900 million profit for both production companies. So they are over the moon, even though the box office in the West wasn't great. So, but they don't care anymore. If a film just about breaks even at the cinema, they're still laughing because they know it'll more than double on when it goes onto pay-per-view. And that's before it goes onto streaming when they do their clever this many minutes to this much cost. And this is how valuable it is. That is actually just money coming in. And you got to remember, people buy them. You can get you can rent it for like 15 quid or buy it for 20, and people buy it and a digital download. I've never done that in my life, but people do.
I do love those digital downloads. Whenever they got those bundle deals, I'm a sucker.
Yeah, we don't get that here. We get cheap deals. We get like £2 for a download or something. But
because whenever we talked about Voodoo or Fandango now, y'all don't even have apps like that, right?
No.
Oh wow, that's well, they do like $5 deals every week or bundle deals of get all 7 Jurassic Park movies, get all 3 Matrix, whatever,
We've only just got Hulu. Hulu's got on Disney. Now, we used to have something called Stars on Disney. Now it's become Hulu. So Hulu's now an add-on within the. Well, it's not an add-on. It's they've got like 5 or 6 different channels on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
Like Marvel, Star Wars, and Star Wars is it's basically what the old Fox stuff used to be. It's now become Hulu. So all the old Fox TV shows are on Hulu now.
FX, Fox, all that.
So
ABC.
But now we don't have anything like that. We've got a few things, but it's everything here is Amazon, Disney, Apple. I think you guys an Apple though, so you can buy stuff through Apple, can't you? We can't. We don't really have that.
Same thing on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean that's why when I buy digital movies, it's through Apple TV. Yeah.
So we don't really have that. Apple is just it's stuff here. You can't really buy everything. Everything's Amazon for that. Here.
Right.
And they dominate the. If you want to buy something, you generally have to do it through Amazon, unless it's an Apple original. But yeah, so it's in the world of. But I remember putting that on my channel that's what Superman had done, and people went nuts. No, it didn't. It lost millions. You're talking rubbish. I'm like, sorry, but you just don't understand the digital world we live in now. It's different. People don't go to the cinema, particularly in India and China and stuff like that. They do not go to the cinema. Ever since COVID, they just don't. They download stuff at home, and that's how they do it. But yeah, we got Paramount Plus as well, but that's really an add-on for Amazon or Sky TV. But
I'm enjoying Tulsa King.
Tulsa King's great.
Tulsa King.
I love Tulsa King.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Sylvester Stallone to have an expression. It's raise your eyebrows. Go on, Stallone, raise your eyebrows. You can't.
You can't.
There's absolutely no movement in his forehead anymore. But he does look weird. He looks like a chipmunk.
Staring all the time.
He's still brilliant, though, isn't he? He's so cool.
Oh, I love it.
He's so good in that shit.
No, Robert Patrick's on there too, which is great.
I was just thinking that.
Oh, is he?
Dr. Stallone is like.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
We were talking about American cheese before the stream. Sylvester Stallone is American cheese.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's just perfect in that sense. He's the American that's going to be cheesy no matter what, but it's still going to be a good time to watch.
I'm gonna head off though anyway because well, I need a wee. But also it's nearly 8 o'clock here, so I want to sort of settle down for the evening. Sorry, guys. But was there anything else you wanted to know or ask me before I disappear?
Not in particular. Chat, do we have anything hyper specific that we're thinking of real fast? Because
Fandango by hard copy.
Stargate hard reboot, Bill.
I will give you until I wet myself.
Yeah.
Too late.
Oh God.
Good night, Peter.
Give him the catheter. Bring the catheter fast. Pronto.
Diapers. Adult diapers.
Stop playing video games on your Wii. Popcorn. I miss popcorn power. I haven't seen him in ages. Haven't done many lives recently, have I? Lives.
I don't know. If we're about
you
that
ask
hour.
me a fucking long question now, I'm going to break your legs. Do not ask me a really long question.
I have a 6-parter that I was going to ask you.
Is there something on the soundboard?
Nita, hey!
Yeah. We'll just clap.
Too long a question. We might get a.
I'll answer the Bill Brocks or Black Rocks question really quickly. Yes.
Oh, God. Yes. Of course.
I think there might be a gap. I don't think Star Trek will continue. I from talking to a couple of people, and nobody knows yet because nobody knows what Paramount. They haven't made a final decision. But I've spoken to a couple of people, and their opinion seems to be they will end the contract. They will end what's currently in production, and then they're basically the decision will be okay. Well, we're going to end Secret Hideout's deal. And then they will decide after everything's done and everything's dropped, and in 12 months or 18 months' time, then they'll decide what to do with Star Trek. So that will mean a gap before there's a new show.
And there's so many things happening with Paramount right now. They put a second bid in for Warner Brothers. So who knows what their ultimatum is?
Yeah. But I think that's what will happen with Star Trek. I think there'll be a break. The fact that they've not released anything on the Star Trek next movie, even though 2 are theoretically in development, I think says a lot. That they're even though they've publicly said we are really passionate about Star Trek, we're really going to get behind it. I think they'll. Why did Jay agree that Doctor Who should be shelved for the next decade? I didn't.
I clicked that on accident.
I didn't agree that. So. Why would they sell it for a decade?
Yeah. Hey, weren't you and Jay supposed to be doing the Star Trek movies watch through thing? You guys stopped doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we should do that again. Well, I stopped doing YouTube for a bit when we were.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, that was there's reasons, but
yeah, we will get back to that. I will message Mike later and see if he fancies doing that. We were reviewing each movie. We only got a couple in actually. Did
if you aren't subscribed to Co-Club, go check them out.
Using attack impulse to penetrate that anomaly. Oh yeah, he went full deep into it.
Yeah, just Stargate wise, I think we talked about what we needed to talk about with hard reboots, soft reboots, continuations, just in general, what they all look like, what the studio perspectives would be coming from why they would do a hard reboot rather than other things. And it is saddening to get to the point of a hard reboot, but I guess ultimately, if this hard reboot is the best thing to do, bring back Brad. Just in some degree. I know that's the one thorough line we've had for the last probably 5 years talking about it is bring back
bet
Brad.
you £100 that whatever they announce does not involve Brad Wright.
Yep.
You're taking that bet, are you? You're taking that bet?
I would not. Sarah might. Watch out. I don't know.
100 of your hard-earned pounds, not dollars. I want a proper pound.
Oh, okay. All right.
Can you meet in the middle, do a euro?
Time's worth more.
Nobody wants those.
That scarlet, stinking French money. Thank you very much. I want real money.
By the pound, by the
By the
quid.
What is a realistic timeline? Well, for Stargate now, it was supposed to be. As far as I'm aware,
who
the plan
knows?
is still
2027.
Yeah, it would be 20. Actually, that's that. Yeah, a movie would go into pre-production in early 2026 for a film to be out within 24 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they start early 2026, it'll be out maybe late 2027.
Late 2027, early to mid 2028, I think is realistic. Because if they're just accepting pitches now, it'll be February, March before. If they accept something by like November, December, it'll be March, April, May until things could actually get the momentum going for the project itself. And they got to. Not only do they have to say yes to a project, they have to say, okay, that was an awesome pitch and a rough draft. Give us the second draft. Let's. These are our notes. Give us something more, and then who knows how long that process takes.
That would be. I would think it would be 2 years from when something's announced as in pre-development, but it won't go into filming for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
So if they announce something as pre-development in January, it might get filming by end of summer. It would be done February, March 27, and then it would be on our screens end of 27. So they reckon basically pre-development is about 6 months.
2030. Yeah.
27. Yeah. So pre-production is 6 months.
Could be.
No, it'll be a bit sooner than that, but maybe.
Hopefully.
Pre-production is 6 months, and that's when the script is done. They bounce back to the studios, and they set up all like the CGI and stuff. Filming, principal photography, and everything takes about 6 months, and then post takes about 12 months. So it's about 2 years for a sci-fi movie. It's about 2 years.
Right.
And if they're filming on sound stages like we've talked about, not necessarily the volume or the medium, but those larger sound stages that I've talked about, that I worked on Europa and stuff like that, they can speed up the production and the post-production process. But even if they're doing that, it's still going to be 6, 8, 9 months at minimum.
Yeah, it's going to take about 2 years.
Yeah,
sometimes the post-production only takes 6 months. Even for it depends how much effort they put into it. Really, a cinematic movie, a cinematic quality will take about 2 years. Streaming movie they can do in about 12 months, 12 to 12 months. So, but also it depends on whether they're accepting pitches, but then they might just go, let's just run with the script we got. And in that case, they could be up and running quite quickly. But also, it just depends how much what Amazon decides, how much that they're actually going to do it. They might decide this and then go, okay, we've got a studio available end of 26, we'll do it then. And we don't know what they're going to do we yet? Because they haven't exactly shown any expediency so far. But again, think about it this though. How long is it with Spaceballs was announced that's actually happening? It's actually nearly a year ago now already. They're in principal photography. They'll be on our screens within 12 months. That 2 years just really goes by fast. And we've only been talking about this for about 4 years now, but it feels like a lot longer than that.
We mentioned Jordan Peele last time we really talked about him this in depth was 2 years ago. Like what? Like
strikes. Like I say, the strikes were 2 years.
Legally Blonde 3.
Yeah. Realistically,
still haven't got
Baseball 2 and then the Legally Blonde series, Legally Blonde 3, are kind of our pulse checkers for all this. That's what we actually have, like fingers on the pulse to figure out how long it's going to take, and if that's how long it takes.
Well, Bond is the main thing you should be looking at. That's the thing that Amazon are actually prioritizing.
Yeah, makes sense.
They desperately want a Bond movie.
Yeah, and since what's her name messed that up.
Yep. Oh God, she messed that up badly. I hate her for Stargate, but she messed up Stargate. Sorry, James Bond badly. And there was a guy that did an article on one of the videos I did about this, about Jen Salke, and he said, Jen Salke wanted to do a female Bond. She never wanted to do a female Bond. That is just not true. There was never any plans to do a female Bond. What she wanted to do was sort of like a modern man Bond. She didn't want him to be such a womanizing mental case.
Yeah.
She wanted a softer Bond until Barbara Broccoli pointed out that's not Bond.
Yeah.
Literally.
Realistically, isn't that what we got with Daniel Craig? Like Daniel Craig wasn't all that much of a womanizer in his movies. And by the end of his last movie, he's like, I'm still obsessed with my first Bond girl, and then dies.
Right.
Sorry for the spoiler there.
Right.
He did shag around a bit, mate, in those movies. Actually, he did a bit.
Maybe
that's the
fifth
point
of
of
the
Bond,
usual
though.
Bond antics.
From day one, Bond lost the love of his life, and then was just scared of commitment, sort of thing. So I think that's the point.
Yeah.
There's a psychological reason why Bond is the way he is, and I think they actually did quite a good job with that with the Daniel Craig version.
Yep.
A bit more than they've done in the other movies, but in the books, he's very emotionally broken.
Yeah.
And he's
They showed that the most with Craig, I think.
By far the most. For better and worse, honestly.
He was more of an old sort of womanizer before, but in that's not really what he is in the books. If you ever read them, he's emotionally broken. In the books, it's more to do with like being at war than rather his wife being lost. Sort of thing. But,
well, they had to make it sexy for the movie, you know.
Yeah, the movies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we have I saw one more good question, and it should hopefully be a quick one. David asked us, what if it's an animated film for Stargate? Does that change anything that we're talking about? Obviously, timelines might be sped up a little bit as well, if that were to be the case. But
yeah, they could do an animated movie in like 6 months.
The likelihood of an animated film or even series, whatever, is minuscule at best. It's just an assumption there. But
it's not to start out with. They might do it as like a spin-off project or something.
The original idea was a while ago was to do an SGU animated movie.
Yeah.
I was initially told that, and then I was told sort of, all right, I started getting that it wasn't true, and then later I found out no, it was true. That's what they generally think about that, but it never went into. It was never seriously sort of got into any run, but they. Apparently, it was Mark Fergus that sort of said it. He wants to do to wrap up the whole SGU thing, and then somebody said, "Well, why don't we do like a Babylon 5 type of thing?"
Yeah.
But I don't think it got any further than that. But that's how I found out about it. MGM under the 2019 wanted to do something animated, so you can't say that it never would. But that's with them trying to get their animation studio back up and running. So I don't.
Only way I feel like this would work and work well would be the little asterisk on top of that is if Sony stays involved and don't necessarily use the same teams, of course, because let them finish Across and Beyond the Spider-Verse because they freaking need to, and now it's taken too long. But if they were to give it that same respect and time that they gave Into the Spider-Verse whenever that movie first came out, to something like Stargate, and realistically, I mean, sure, it's a fun comic book movie, but it's kind of Oscar, not bait, but it's Oscar bait in a lot of ways. You know, it's still a really great story. If they were able to do something like that with Stargate, within the Stargate world, and make it make sense, whether it be a hard reboot or a continuation, that would be the way I think an animated film would work.
The conversation with the SGU movie was that it would be something that would come out first. Would tie. This is when they were considering doing a continuation. It would tie off Brad's Stargate, and it would start Infinity Reboot.
Yes,
Dave, you're a very bad man. Go get Infinity.
That was Sarah.
Your mouth.
Yeah, that was me.
That was Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, that's a terrible idea. You badly. Kick her off the boot, and that's terrible. But the idea was, to tie off the old previous Stargate and to start something new. It was the only way to do it because that's the only way you can get the actors on board.
Yeah.
I actually heard that they weren't going to ask David Blue to come back, but I don't know how true that was. But they were just going to get somebody else to do his voice. But they went as far as talking to Robert Carlyle about it. So
yeah. I remember when all that was happening. Sarah and I did mention yesterday, just at the end of our escape room while we were talking, just the brief little moment about all this stuff is David Blue. One of the issues with bringing Stargate back, like I love Eli as a character, but realistically, it's where his point, specifically his ending point, is where Stargate kind of needs to pick back up for a continuation, or at least have an essence of that storyline in it.
You have a film panning the Destiny, and there's just a skeleton sitting.
It's the easiest thing to do. Just kill him off. Like realistically, as much as we love Eli,
If you do animated, you just bring in somebody else to do voice.
Yeah,
there is. Right, I'm only saying it's rumors, and so I don't know, but I've talked to a couple of people that directly know him, and say that David Blue's a complete prat. So I don't know. He wasn't liked, but I don't know. It's again, I don't want to speak badly of anybody, but the one thing I was told by somebody that knows him personally is that he's very full of himself. And that was what I was told. And he doesn't shut up.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, he might just have to bite the bullet and work with them. Because, I mean, how do you, I don't know, at least bring him back enough to kill him off.
Well, yeah, I just find it interesting. Like you said, I don't like poo-pooing on people or anything like that. It's not a fun thing to do. No. But also, it's simply an observation at this point that the entirety of the Stargate cast and crew just simply doesn't want to work with the guy. So, like, where does that come from? And what do you do with it if you're trying to bring it back, especially when that character is as important to the Stargate series from the point that we left off as he is?
The other thing is, if you do animated, you could bring David Blue back because he's not on set with anyone. He just goes into a soundstage for in a booth basically, and reads his lines.
He downloaded his consciousness into the Destiny. There we go.
Yeah,
that's the easiest.
If you do it live action, he's got to be there, and I think there are actors that I'm aware of that might not love that idea, but again, they're professionals; they'll do it.
Yeah,
true.
I know creators at the time that didn't love him. But if a whole new creation team, though, at the end of the day, mate, I'm sure you've done work with people you don't like. You just get your head down and you just do it.
Yeah.
It's like any job, isn't it? But yeah, that was what I heard. He's difficult.
Well, Popcorn did, just to add on top of that. Are we all supposed to imagine that all actors of characters we like are great people in real life? Totally not.
No.
But like you just said, it's a professional setting that you need to bring that professionalism to your work as well. And if you're too caught up in yourself, a lot of that professionalism leaves. And that's why, especially currently in the acting world, method actors are getting kind of the short end of the stick, kind of rightfully so in a lot of ways, is because first of all, method acting can give some of the best product that you have. Yeah. If someone delves into a character and becomes that character, wow, you're most likely going to get something amazing out of it if they did it correctly, whatever that actually means. But also, do you want to be on the Suicide Squad set and get dead rats sent to you by Jared Leto? And then, I would say I'm out. Like, he did that to people on set when he was being the Joker. Like, and when it was Morbius. Or Shia LaBeouf tried with face, but also that's it's wild. But at least he doesn't do.
No, he admits though, doesn't he? His head went to a bad place for a while, and he's well, he was drinking stuff as well. He went, he went to a bad place, and he was really, really difficult to work with. I think child actors though always can have that sort of problem, but he is now an ambassador for coming back and. And he's starting to work again regularly and whatever. So
that man can give a performance too.
Yeah, he's a great actor. The great actors are always a little cuckoo. Daniel Day-Lewis is a knob.
Yeah. He's not even acting now, is he?
No, he's got a movie out right now, Anemone.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. He's semi-retired, though, isn't he? Basically, he only works when he wants to, sort of thing.
Well, he's kind of went back on the whole retirement stuff, but he totally did retire after Phantom Thread. But his son, Ronan Day-Lewis, is doing his first film. He directed his first film and asked Sean Bean and Daniel Day-Lewis to be the leads, which put me in a seat, please,
Guess who's going to die?
I'll give you
a thing to say like that when actors aren't liked, but on a long running series, it does cause problems.
Well, you got to work with those people day in, day out. If the crew doesn't even want you here,
It's not going to be a problem in for either a movie or to get a job. He's not going to. But the other thing is, he's not worked much since. So I don't know.
Hasn't been doing David Blue you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he do some directing though or something?
Yeah, well, nothing that was big, but I think he wasn't he on like a something that was only on in America, like it was like not a soap opera, but something like that. Let's Google him. But anyway, it's irrelevant because he's in NCIS, Criminal Investigation Service. But it's irrelevant anyway. He would work. So I'm just saying that he hasn't done anything for a couple of years.
2018, it looks like.
He's got one project coming up. Who is no one?
Oh, he did Henry Danger and Danger Force, I guess, continuously. But that's the only thing he's been doing since 2018, it looks like. Wow.
But anyway, it wouldn't. If they did SGU, it wouldn't stop him coming back. He'd just do a job, wouldn't he? So. Right, I'm going to call it a night because you've got another 25 minutes out of me.
Well, since you love method acting so much, can people send you dead hamsters?
I can stick it up my bum.
Wow.
That's a gerbil.
Oh, was it a gerbil? Was it? I'm going to go. A gerbil.
Maybe hamster shit.
A hamster's bigger.
Yeah.
I want a hamster. Send me a beaver.
You can buy those from Kim Kardashian's company.
We haven't got beavers in this country. I'd love a beaver.
My favorite thing was when Naked Gun came out over summer and their popcorn bucket was the beaver. It was great. It was great.
Is that film as bad as it looks? Because it looks really bad.
Oh my God. Watch it right now. Don't skip Triple Frontier, watch Naked Gun, and call back. We'll go live again afterwards.
I don't think it's for free. I'm not paying for it.
Oh, well then don't do that.
It looks awful.
It is It is so much fun.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't get comedies like that anymore. It's silly. It knows it's silly. It cares about the story and it doesn't care about that it's silly. And it has fun with it. And
I did like the bit when the son of O.J. Simpson's there with his dad's photo.
So good.
And they're all like, and he's just like, I did quite like that. That was quite funny. Seth Rogen wrote it, not Seth Rogen. Seth MacFarlane wrote it, and then I've loved everything else he's done. So, right, I'm going to get out of here.
All right.
So, speak to you all next time.
Hey, they have reintroduced beavers to the UK.
I really need to pee at this point.
Surprise. Well, anyway, real quick, the last thing for us, just housekeeping for us before we leave. Are we doing our Tron Ares Afterthoughts tomorrow, or should we suspend until about Tuesday?
Tomorrow?
I can do it tomorrow.
Thursday.
I'm not doing it tomorrow.
Okay.
You've already taken up one of my nights this week.
All right.
I got snooker tomorrow. I play snooker on a Thursday anyway. That's a standing.
I already posted my reaction on my channel, so.
Oh, that's all that matters. Then just to send a link to Sarah's video. I've not seen it. I'm not going to.
You still haven't seen it?
I'm not going to.
Actually, though,
I'm not going to.
It's not horrible.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
If we talk about it, we can talk about how much money it's lost, or how much money it's going to lose.
Well, that'll be part of it in the conversation.
My main problem at the moment, mate, is I'm kind of single and I've got nobody to go to the cinema with, and I'm not going on my own. So I've got to wait for it to go to.
I went on Monday afternoon. I just went.
I was going to say my favorite thing to do is go to the movie by myself.
I don't mind the cinema by myself. Never have done. Don't like it.
Ah.
So also I think his work is ridiculous at the moment. My actual job is ridiculous. So I'm hoping it's going to ease off a little bit now because I've got rid of one client today. I should talk about that. I'm hoping it's going to ease off now. But yeah, my actual job is a nightmare.
Well, convince Damien to go see a movie with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of single. That's what kids are. Grab one of the kids.
Well, you never know. I might find somebody to go with, but I'm not going to be watching Tron anyway. My weekends are filled up at the moment.
Well,
I'm not really can't really be bothered either, to be honest.
We will see.
I'll wait for it to come out in cinema, and I'm thinking I'll pay for it.
We'll get a little crew together and we'll shoot for this following Tuesday. Then that'll be our housekeeping for that.
Okay.
That sound good, Sarah?
Sure.
Okay.
And then I'll see you guys on
I
Sunday.
don't think I have anything. I'll let you know if I do.
All right. Besides that, Radical Wasteland podcast on
Goodbye.
Friday, doing Twisted Metal. Sunday, gone. Okay. Sunday, we got Sci-Fi Sundays, and I think that's it from us. Besides that, we will let y'all know what is happening. And, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. This has been a fun one, a wild one, all over the place.
We have a soundboard. Yay.
We do have a soundboard. And should we test any out before we leave? What's an explosion? That's kind of a boring explosion.
Yeah.
Do like this.
That kind of gets attention.
You know, it was a fun show. We'll had a good time, y'all. Hope y'all had a good time. Obviously, nothing tomorrow now, so be prepared for Friday morning or evening, depending on where you are. Yes. Sunday, same thing. Monday, we have Farscape Trion as usual, and Tuesday, we'll come at you with the Tron Aries afterthoughts. Do we have a water effect?
Yeah.
Soundboard
they
too loud?
want you to do that because Jay said he had to go to the bathroom, so they wanted you to be playing water sounds.
That'd be great. Okay, y'all tell me real quick, is this soundboard a little bit better? Is that better? I lowered it by 15 volume.
Yeah.
See y'all. About 6 decibels. Lower or was that better? That's also a really long one. That's better? Cool. All right. Well, now we got the happy sweet spot going forward. It's at 30% volume of those. And we know the deal. This has been a fun one. Before we just start playing with all these sounds, we're going to go crazy and go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all again. You know we appreciate it. We'll see you Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Yep.
But then Friday again next week. So we got options, and we will see you the next one. Adios, y'all.
Okay, bye.